Interesting, interesting. Definitely let us know what you think in the comments. Sure, we'll have both sides of the aisle chiming in on that one, as we'd hope. And I'm really excited for all the commercial real estate bros that will be in my mentions after this next segment that we love to highlight about commercial real estate. Gary, thing number 5 to wrap up the show, the problems in commercial real estate are getting worse and it seems like have continuously got worse over the last couple of months.
Yeah. All right. So this is something, as anybody who's a regular watcher of the five things knows, we've been talking about this for a while. Now, before everybody spams the comments and gets upset about it, I don't think that the problems we're seeing in commercial real estate are going to take down the whole market. This is not like the leverage play in residential real estate from 2008. But it is bad and it is a problem. This week's example, buyers of the highest tranche of debt for 1740 Broadway in Manhattan lost more than 25% of their investment. Now, is that a lot? Does that matter? Who cares, right? Why is that a big deal? Well, if you're an equity investor, if you're a stock investor, losing, 25% in a stock, it's not good. You don't want it to happen, but we see that all the time. We see stocks go down 25%. It's not an uncommon occurrence. But these were the highest tranche of debt holders. These guys are typically investing in securities that are rated very close to treasury securities. So, if this was 5-year paper, it might have been yielding something like, 4%. And so when you're trying to make 4% and you lose 25%, there goes your year,
Hmm.
right? You can get wiped out in this. And the thing that makes all of this really, really challenging for people is there were 5 tranches of debt. So what that means is the equity holders got wiped out. The 4 lowest tranches of debt got wiped out, went to zero. And the people who owned the, near treasury grade securities at the top lost 25% plus of their investment. That's bad. And so the headline here is, these debt holders lost 25%. And people are like, okay, is that a big deal? Well, yeah, it's a big deal when your equity gets wiped out and when 4 of your 5 tranches of debt get wiped out and your, near treasury grade securities take a gigantic loss. This is indicative of a giant problem.
We've heard rumors of some sort of DC bailout for commercial real estate. What does that look like? And I think I know the answer to this, Gary, but is it a good idea?
Yeah, I am strongly against it. And this goes back, Rob, to the stuff we were talking about when we were doing the segment on Target and watch sales. And I'm making the point of saying, this economy, it is rigged for a small number of people and doesn't work for a large number of people. And I'm making the point, hey, don't blame me for this. But you know, what we're, I think, about to see is a Washington, D.C. bailout of commercial real estate holders of the banks. That would be a disaster. It is a huge problem. It shouldn't happen. It would be wrong. And, it's, if you see it and it makes you angry, I'm with you, and you should be angry about it. People in capitalism should not be bailed out. Capitalism and good asset allocation decisions have to come with the possibility of failure. Bad decisions will and should have uncomfortable outcomes. And so to have a situation where you have a group of people where if it works out, they make money. If it doesn't work out, the taxpayer bails them out. That's abusive. And it
Hmm.
really should be stopped. I'm against it. And just to give you a sense of how bad the analysis in this space is, there was a collateralized mortgage-backed security strategist at Barclays. Yeah, I'm giving the name. I don't care. Said, I'm quoting, "These losses may be a sign that the commercial real estate market is starting to hit rock bottom." What? What in the world? Your equity holders got wiped out. 4 or 5 tranches of debt got wiped out, sent to zero, 100% losses. Your highest tranche takes 25% losses. And this guy's saying, well, the market's hit bottom. What are you kidding me? Like, maybe, but this is not evidence of it. This is evidence that things have actually gotten worse from the last time we were talking about it. So, my view is be careful in the space. Again, we're not cheering for anybody to, lose 100% of their money. But if they do, because they made bad decisions and the deals didn't work out, we do not want to see more bailouts. My concern too is, You go back to 2008 and you had Occupy Wall Street, which I think that was a flawed movement in a lot of ways, but I will give the Occupy Wall Street movement credit for one thing. They were completely nonviolent. They took up space, they made life a little bit inconvenient, but they were nonviolent. My concern, Rob, is at this point, if there's another bailout, if the banks get bailed out or the commercial real estate owners get bailed out while people are living paycheck to paycheck, I hope this doesn't happen, but I could see things going way past nonviolence. It would make people very, very angry, and understandably so. Again, I don't want to see the losses, I don't want to see the bailouts, and I don't want to see violence, but this is stacking up to be a really bad situation for a lot of people.
Interesting things happening all across the board. As always, with Deep Knowledge Investing, the 5 things, we'll keep you in the loop of everything you need to know and to make sure you can make the proper moves throughout the market. This was our The Most Important Issue Ever issue. Gary, thanks for the tongue twister. Any closing thoughts that you have? As always, thank you for watching. We love subscribe. Sign up for our newsletter, free version, consider a paid version, refer your friends, or just leave us a comment would go great as well. Gary, closing thoughts.
Given that we're filming today on Memorial Day, I want to share a personal story with you. My grandfather was a very brave man. He fought in World War II with the U.S. Army, the 80th Airborne Division. He was a paraglider, saw heavy action through France and Germany. His family situation was a little bit rough. He was the sole source of support for his family and could have avoided military service when he was drafted. And I asked him one time, I said, why didn't you do that? Like, why choose to go to war? And he knew the stakes, and he said, I wasn't going to let someone else defend my family. I mean, brave man, great integrity, great character. He put himself at risk to fight for what he believed in. Fortunately, he came back happy and healthy, lived a great life with, children and grandchildren who adored him. But some of his friends did not make it back, of course, and we should remember them today. One of the things I used to do when my grandfather was alive, every Memorial Day, I would call him and I would, remind him that we would not be celebrating him that day. And he loved getting that call because it was a reminder of how grateful I was that he returned from fighting in World War II, that he returned safe and happy and healthy. And that I was so grateful that we were not celebrating him or remembering him on Memorial Day. He loved getting that call. I loved making that call. For those of you who have service people, servicemen, servicewomen, veterans in your life, give them a call today if they're still alive. Let them know you appreciate their service and tell them you're glad that you're not remembering them today. For those of you who have served and lost friends, family members, colleagues, I'm so sorry for your loss, and, take a minute to be thankful for the sacrifice that they've made on behalf of the country. Deep Knowledge Investing does have military veterans on our board, and their contributions to our firm are incredible. And yeah, that's it. Just take a minute to be grateful for the freedom that we have. Thank the veterans that you have in your life, and, realize that they had friends, and some of you have family members who have made huge sacrifices, and, we're sorry for your loss. And thanks so much for watching today and for giving me the chance to share, one of my personal family stories.